Welcome back, Genesis International College students. Today, we're focusing squarely on Topic 3 of your CPCPD 3028 unit, applying a mirror paint finish. Now, I know you've been working incredibly hard on your decorative paint finishes, and this explainer is designed as your definitive summary and step-by-step guide to mastering that flawless, high-gloss look for your upcoming practical assessments. Let's get right into it.
All right, here's our procedural blueprint for today. We'll be covering 1. The flawless mirror finish, 2. Essential tools and materials, 3. Site and safety preparation, 4. Perfecting the substrate, and finally, 5. The application method.
Section 1, the flawless mirror finish. So, what exactly is a mirror finish? Well, you'll sometimes hear the old pros in the industry call it a glass finish, and honestly, that's precisely what it sounds like. We're aiming for a perfectly smooth, high gloss, and highly reflective surface. And I really want to emphasize right out of the gate that with this particular finish, the stakes are incredibly high. Because the surface is so reflective, any imperfections, we're talking a single stray dust particle, a tiny dent, or a heavy brush mark, have absolutely nowhere to hide. The light is going to catch every single flaw. Okay, lean in, because here is the biggest open secret in the painting and decorating trade. Achieving this beautiful glass-like finish isn't actually about your final stroke of paint. It requires meticulous, downright painstaking preparation. The real magic happens long before you even pry the lid off that tin of mirror paint. Your surface needs to be perfectly clean, perfectly smooth, properly filled, and thoroughly primed. I promise you, if you rush the prep, this finish will absolutely betray you. Let's move on to Section 2, Essential Tools and Materials. Before you step onto the site, you need to know what's in your kit. Your loadout is clearly separated here into physical tools and chemical materials. On the tools side, depending on your specific method, you'll be relying on high-quality brushes, rollers, or maybe even sprayers. On the materials side, you're packing primers, intermediate coats, the actual mirror paints, plus your thinners and solvents. Having the exact right materials in the correct quantities means you can work efficiently, nail that quality result, and significantly reduce any unnecessary waste on the job.
Section 3, Site and Safety Preparation.
Listen, the absolute most crucial step happens before you even think about touching a paint can. Always put on your personal protective equipment first and ensure it's correctly fitted. Loose gear is just an accident waiting to happen. You have to protect yourself first so your mind can be completely focused entirely on the finish. Once you're safely geared up, you need to conduct a rigorous safety check of the whole work area. Because mirror finishes usually involve oil-based paints and solvents, you're dealing with highly flammable materials. So you must ensure there's adequate ventilation, and you have to absolutely avoid any naked flames or ignition sources. We definitely do not want any fire or explosion risks today. Always review the safety data sheets, the SDSs, for the specific products you're using. And hey, don't forget to protect the people and property around you. Get your barricades and signage set up, and carefully tarp or tape off all surrounding surfaces. Section 4, Perfecting the Substrate. I cannot stress this enough, folks. Ensuring your substrate is entirely smooth, clean, and properly filled is absolutely non-negotiable for a quality mirror finish. If you spot a chip, a dent, or any disfiguration whatsoever, you have to address it right now. Remember what we said earlier about the high-gloss nature of these paints? They reflect light so purely that literally any underlying texture will instantly break that beautiful illusion of glass. And here we are, Section 5, the application method. The first 4 steps of this definitive 7-step process really just consolidate everything we've just talked about. Step 1, PPE. Step 2, safety check for ventilation and hazards. Step 3, prep the work area with your drop sheets and barricades. And Step 4, prep the surface so it's immaculately smooth and clean. By checking off these 4 steps, you've totally secured your site and prepped your substrate. You are finally ready to apply the coating. So, let's see how we actually build this finish. Step 5 is priming the surface. Just make sure it's the correct primer for both your substrate and the specific mirror paint you're using. Step 6 involves applying your intermediate coats, making sure to adjust the paint viscosity according to the manufacturer's instructions and whatever the environmental conditions are that day. Finally, Step 7 is applying the final coat. Now, the absolute secret sauce across all these steps, patience. You must let the primer and intermediate coats dry thoroughly. Then you sand them perfectly smooth. And, this is key, you have to remove all dust and impurities between every single coat. As we approach that all-important final coat, it's vital to highlight a very specific skill, the laying off technique. If you're applying by brush, You aren't just slapping the paint on the wall. Laying off is a careful, highly specialized brushing method used specifically to eliminate brush marks. It makes sure the paint settles perfectly flat to create that flawless glass effect without any streaking or ridging whatsoever.
When you're perfecting that final coat, your focus is entirely on achieving a perfectly smooth, even finish that strictly follows the manufacturer's instructions. This is the ultimate payoff, guys. It's the moment of truth that proves your hours of prep work, your meticulous sanding between coats, and your precise laying off brush technique have all finally come together to create perfection. Well, Genesis International College students, that brings us to the end of topic 3. By mastering this procedural blueprint, you are more than ready to hit the tools and achieve that perfect, highly reflective mirror finish. But remember, the mirror finish is really just the beginning of high-end decorative work. Once you conquer the illusion of glass, what other elite finishing techniques are you ready to master next? Good luck on your practical assessment. You're gonna do great, and happy painting.